All right, how's it going, guys? It's me, your boy, GR_Donkin with Ad Nauseum, as always. This is the same list from the 5.0 video I posted previously. With a small change here, we've got +1 pact in the main, and replacing that, we have a mystical dispute. Thoughts being that I want to be better against the blue decks, so let's put another pact in the main, and I would want 3 Spell Pierce, but I wanted to test Mystical Dispute because it's good against blue counter spells, right? And that's what I wanted to hedge against with this change. So, yep, this is the list. Buckle up, get ready, because this is some crazy magic we're gonna look at. A lot of interesting games here. I know you're gonna enjoy this. All right, let's go. This is game 1 of the Modern Showcase. Game 1, match 1. Let's see what our opener is here. We're on the draw, but my opener is pretty gasoline. We've got lands, fast mana, and the combo. Little Serum Visions to help us out. Let's obviously keep and see how this goes. All right. Opponent goes Wooded Foothills, Crack, Breeding Pool, Noble. And I'm already like, are you kidding me? This is going to be Infect. So I put 2 cards. Client went a little fast. I'm sure that I'm just looking for Pact of Negation at this point. Because I've got the combo rolled up here, right? I just need Pact of Negation to try to get me to that turn 4. Okay, they play Blight. I draw a Temple. I scry Spoils. I scry that to the top. I guess my thoughts are that I can do something. I don't know. But the game's clearly over. They've just got me on turn 3. Let's see how the rest of this match goes. Game 2 of match 1. We are on the play. Let's see how we sideboarded. I brought in 3 Slaughter Pacts for 3 Sleight of Hand. And I took out a Spoils and an Unlife for 2 Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce trying to counter the interactive spells that they may play, and Slaughter Pact obviously to kill their Infect creature so that we get a lot of turns to try to assemble the combo. Let's see what our opener looks like. All right, so this hand is pretty solid. We have the combo, we have some Serum Visions. We also have a Spoils, so we've got the combo here. We've got the fast mana. We've got a little bit of dig. This is like a perfect hand, honestly. So easy keep. So I play a Serum Visions. I draw the Slaughter Pact, so this is perfect, right? Very happy about that. And I see 2 Serum on top, and I think I scry both to the top here, with my logic being that I'm going to draw 1 for turn, and then I'll draw another Serum Visions. And this just gives me so much dig that I'm likely to be able to get out of any situation the opponent can create. So let's see how I scry. Cards on top. I'm just looking to cast Serum Visions this game. And we're going to really see the power of Slaughter Pact in this deck. All right, so they Noble Hierarch. I play a land. And I cast Pentad Prism. Yep. I want to develop my mana. I do have the spoils here, so I'm going to need 7 mana to execute the combo. So this gives me combo mana. I'm pretty happy with how I played that turn. All right, they shock. They play Blighted Agent. And then they pass. All right, so it's my turn 3. Gonna try to win on my next turn. So Since I'm winning on my next turn, I just want to use these Serum Visions to find any ways to protect my combo, disrupt their turn 3 kill, or maybe look for a Grace so I can use the spoils to find a pact. Let's see what I do find here. There's the Grace. I don't need either of these cards, so I imagine I bought them both. I do. All right, and then I Serum again, and just like 3 serums in one game is so good. There's the second pact here. So I'm feeling pretty confident, like I've got this one locked. Let's pass the turn. All right, so they go for the scale up. I'm like, sure, bud. Let's see. They swing. This is they disconnected. That's kind of weird, champ. Okay. So I guess I respond here. I'm not really sure why I chose this moment to respond, but I do. So that gets killed. They just let that go, which I thought was interesting. It makes me think that they have a Spell Pierce rolled up that they want to use to protect themselves against my combo. They rather stop me from winning than protect their one dude. So they play Glistener Elf. I'm like, sure. And then the Dryad Arbor. I'm like, okay. So then I'm thinking, I already have one Slaughter Pact trigger on the stack. I decide to fire off the second Slaughter Pact on this Glistener Elf. Because I'm just going to Grace anyway. Grace is going to protect me from those lose the game triggers. And I have one Angel's Grace, so I'd rather just get the most bang for my buck, you know what I mean? So I stack the triggers so that the bloom first. I always do that out of habit. And then I Grace. That's the bloom. And I say no to these. If I draw a land, I'm also protected from Spell Pierce with my combo. So I'm probably looking to go to draw step for a land here. That would be ideal. So I hit no twice. Ooh, I might have scried that to the top. I don't remember. But there's that land. And we just have the combo through Spell Pierce here. So that's pretty good. We take this game here. Looks like they didn't even have Spell. All right. As I've said before in previous reviews, the picking up the deck takes very, very long. So I'm just going to go to the next video, but we do win this game. Okay, so my opponent mulligans to 6, and this is my opener. This is a pretty interesting opener. And I remember I was very happy with how Double Slaughter Pact worked last game. And I said, okay, I'm going to keep this Double Slaughter Pact is going to give me enough time to the point where I'm going to be able to cast my combo. I saw in my mind's eye that this game was going to go longer than turn 4, but that would be okay because I have like the combo rolled. I have the combo and I have the mana. I just need the white card. I'm sure I'll find all of those in a couple of turns, right? So I keep this 7. It's kind of a risky 7, but I did really like Slaughter Pact in that last game. All right, my opponent mulligans to 5. They mulligan to 4, so I think that this Slaughter Pact hand is actually gasoline. I'm very happy with this keep. All right, so let's watch this game. Breeding Pool tapped, poggers, draw a land, kind of what I wanted anyway. Blighted Agent, sure. Pass to you. Land tapped. All right, so scry the serum to the top because I do need my combo. They have this one to kill me. If they can't kill me here, then I'm very much up to win. And they put me to 5 poison, so I'm like, sweet. I think I'm a favorite. So, shit, I wish it didn't go so fast. I put 1 card on the bottom and 1 card on the top. I'm guessing it's a white spell. My computer struggles so hard. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So they have 2 cards in hand. So they play the Hierarch. So I know my Double Slaughter Pact is going to go through because they only have 1 card in hand. So they go in, and I'm just like, sure, whatever, bro. I do realize that it takes 3 hits for them to kill me, and I think this game needs to go longer than 3 turns. So I do start to fire off the Slaughter Packs here. And this is what makes this card so awesome, right? Like I Slaughter Pact, right? Then they Protect spell. And then I can just Slaughter Pact again. Because this copy will fizzle, so I won't have to pay the 3. I'm only going to have to pay for this Slaughter Pact. So that works out very, very well for me here. And then they have 0 cards, so this of course resolves. And opponent is Hellbent. We have 2 Ad Nauseams here. Feeling pretty good. All right, I put a Temple of Deceit on the top of my deck. That is a very weird choice. I probably should have bottomed that in hindsight. I think I remember making that choice, and I was like, that was kind of a misplay. So my logic was, I'm going to need some more dig to find a white spell. So Temple is good. But then I'm like looking at my hand of 3 lands, right? Like bottoming a card with Serum is the same thing as, you get what I'm saying. Like I should have just bottomed this Temple, and then I would have drawn the Unlife that turn. In the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter because I had to pay the 3 for Slaughter Pact, but it was the more correct play to bottom this Temple. All right, let's keep going. All right, draw the Unlife, play the Unlife. And they draw a card. Sure, bro. They get in for 2. They get in for 3. Oh god, what a clock. All right, now let's see if I can play around Spell Pierce here. I don't play around Spell Pierce. And I get the game. I guess I choose not to play around Spell Pierce because the second Ad Nauseam, right? So I just go for it. I have a second Ad Nauseam. So if my first Ad Nauseam gets countered, I just run back the second one and I'm likely winning. All right, cool. So that was our first match. I won against Infect, which is pretty lit. I was pretty dismayed when I saw what my match was, but then I was emboldened by the results. So let's see if my hubris betrays me here as we go into match 2. This opener looks pretty solid, right? We've got the fast mana, we've got half the combo, we have a Grace so that we can use that to survive an extra turn or play like a Pact of Negation. So this extra Grace is not bad. And we have some dig as well, it was Temple of Deceit and Sleight of Hand. So I'm very happy with this hand. I will keep. And we're on the play, which is nice. Okay, Temple. Scry. I'm putting that on the bottom. No one needs 3 white spells. All right. Now, spend the bloom. They do something. All right, they play Soulscar Mage. I'm feeling really good. I've got Grace Unlife versus is it Blitz? Let's. All right, and I drew the Ad Nauseam, so this is just like a free roll, right? Let's see how I sleight a hand. I choose to sleight a hand before playing my land because if I sleight into a Temple of Deceit, I want to play that. Easy take the Gemstone Mine here. Can't see me needing a Lightning Storm. But maybe I do take the Lightning Storm as I have double Gemstone Mine, and I can use this Lightning Storm to just kill a creature. But I probably don't think it's going to come down to that, so I'll just take the land. Yeah. All right, say go. Okay. I believe they just play a bird here. Yeah, they Manamorphose into a and swing for 2. Let's see. I just play a Gemstone Mine and cast on life. This game is pretty simple. I'm just gonna fast this game. Yeah. Drew Serum Visions for turn, play an unlife, pass. I have a Bloom coming off suspend. They need to deal me 18 damage and then 10 damage. Uh, they don't. Let's just see how low my life total goes. Oh, they got me to 6. Again, cool. It just doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm gonna cast this Bloom, add Naus Grace, and win the game. There's a dog barking. All right, let's go to the next game here. This is our starting 7. Match 2, game 2 against Is It Blitz. Let's see how we sideboarded. We brought out our Sleight of Hands, and we brought in 2 Spell Pierce and 1 Mystical Dispute. I think I looked up their list and I saw like a Braid or something like that. I wanted to be able to counter some spells this game, and notably Mystical Dispute can counter the Stormwing Entity, right? And that's like one of their biggest beaters. So I was I was like, huh, that's kind of cool. I'm going to try that. So I'm not bringing in ley lines against Blitz because their damage comes from the creatures, not really the spells. Like Lava Dart and Manamorphose and Light Up the Stage don't really interact with Leyline in any way, and those are like their best spells, right? So not bringing in ley lines for this matchup. I am interested in the counter spells though. I think that countering a Manamorphose could buy me, like it could be like a time walk really. I think some counter spells could be good. All right, so easy mulligan here. Let's see what I do. They mull to 6. I mull to 6. This hand is pretty interesting to me. I have the combo. Spoils can get me the white card. Ad Naus is Ad Naus. I also have Oracle with Spoils, so I'm just 1 white card away from comboing. And double Serum Visions, right, to kind of make this hand good. To that end as well, I have I have a lot of looks rather to find the white card for the Spoils Oracle combo. Which can help make up for the fact that this hand doesn't have any fast mana. So I'm kind of a fan of this hand. And I'm probably going to bottom the Serum. I don't remember what I bottom here. Maybe I bottom the Ad Nauseam. I don't know. We'll see. I do keep... I bottom the Serum. Okay. So I'm bold, but I'm not that bold. Okay, they just play like a dork and get me for 1, I imagine. No, they just play Soul Scar. All right. So, Monkey. Not what we wanted. All right, let's Serum. Draw the Grace. So I do have this combo rolled up now, which is great. Spoils Oracle kills on turn 4 without any mana rocks, and I probably top both of these lands because I need 4 mana to kill with this combo, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, right? So I would top both of these here. Yeah, and all right, go ahead. They Swift Spear in 2, and they don't actually play Light Up the Stage, which is interesting. They just hit me for 2 there, which was interesting. They had 1 land that they didn't use. Okay, so I just draw the Serum and do that. This is a pretty boring game, to be honest. Can you kill me by turn 4? If not, I'm gonna win. So I might play the Simian Spirit Guide. Let's see if I play the Simian Spirit Guide. I should play the Simian Spirit Guide. That would be a good move, and I do. Yeah. So not only do they have to get me deal 16 damage to me this turn, they also have to deal with this blocker, right? So I was feeling pretty confident here. Let's watch how this goes. Land opt, okay. Steam vents, okay. Stormwing. So as soon as I play that Stormwing, I'm like, sweet. I've won the game. Let's skip to my turn. I just want to see what I name with spoils because I forget. I might have done Prowess of the Fair because that is something that I like to name. Is it going to show me? This is why I want to get a new computer. Oh, Moto crashed. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay, here we are with round 3 of the Modern Showcase Challenge here. And this hand is not bad at all, right? Like, we have the combo with Ad Nauseam Spoils for Angel's Grace. Then we have Thassa's Oracle Spoils combo as well, if we find a white card. We have a little bit of digging with this, and we have plenty of lands and Spirit Guide. Yeah, I would be interested in keeping this hand. So let's see what I do. I do keep. Okay. Let's see how I scry with this temple. They mulligan to 5, which I'm pretty happy about. Okay. Temple. Scry. Bottom that. Don't need lands. All right, say go. All right, they Scalding Darn pass. So I'm like kind of worried that this is the 4-color Omnath because I honestly don't have a lot of reps against that deck. But we're cool. We're chilling. Draw the Gemstone Mine that I just bottomed. Rigged. All right, so... Oh, I like this game. I make some cool choices this game. All right, so... Hello. Moto, please. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I draw spoils. No, I don't. I drew the gemstone. What am I talking about? Okay, so do I do something cool this turn? No, I just pass. I guess I play the gemstone mine because I don't know if I want this to be on the blue side or the black side yet. I think that was a mistake. I should have played it on the blue side because I know I want double blue for Thassa's Oracle. That was something I thought about during the gameplay. All right, so say go. They get a Ragrurin Triumph. Ragrin Triumph. And then what do they do? I think they just play land and pass. Yeah. So I made a decision over the course of their turn and my turn. I think it was here that I decided. I decide to run out the Thassa's Oracle to scry. And the reason I do this is because they have a hand of 5 cards. So I feel like if I can just find one pact or something, I feel like they don't have a lot to stand on because I took them all down to 5. So I want to aggressively dig towards the white spell. I think that this is the turn that I make that choice. Okay. So I do decide to play the Thassa's Oracle here. 2 lands. So I bottom both of those, I'm sure. Yeah. It does not say I put a card on top, so they both go to the bottom. And I pass. So far, I'm like happy I did that because drawing 2 lands is not what I'm going to need to do to win. So, did they play a Teferi and ruin my day? No, they play Field of Ruin and pass. All right, all right. Draw the Unlife. So I kind of regret running that out now that I've drawn the Unlife, but I wouldn't have drawn the Unlife if I didn't play that out, so it's like whatever, dude. All right, so land, Unlife, go. Playing Unlife here, and it just resolves. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Get in my poke. And then end step. They Field of Ruin my Temple of Deceit. And I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm like short on white sources anyway. So that does nothing for me. It's just, I imagine they just do it to fix their mana. Okay. Shock and pass. Lotus Bloom off the top. So I exile the Bloom. And then play Gemstone Mine and then pass the turn. And now what I have available to me is I can Spirit Guide out the Ad Nauseam, have this black untapped for Spoils to the Vault, for Pact of Negation. So now I'm feeling pretty freaking good, right? So let's see how I handle this here. All right, end step, pass priority. All right, they do nothing. So I hold. Hold. Mystic Sanctuary, no legal target, poggers. End step. Bloom trigger. So the longer this game goes, the better. Well, maybe not. But I mean, they're only drawing 1 card a turn. Like, it's fine for right now. Okay. Draw Serum. Pretty good draw. Likely gonna fire that off with my Dark Slick Shores. Okay, Serum. Draw a Grace. Don't really need that. I might top the Naus. I don't think I will though. Probably bottom both of these. 1 card on top. Maybe it was the Prism. I'm not sure what I did there. Oh, it was the Ad Nauseam. It was definitely the Ad Nauseam. I remember now. All right, they path the Oracle. So I have this situation where I can choose to keep the second Ad Naus on top or get an extra land. And I definitely go for the extra land here because I don't really need the second Ad Nauseam. It's just kind of nice to have. I'd rather have the mana. So you need cards like Mana Leak, Remand, stuff like that. So I take the land. And then goes to their end step. Or my end step, rather. They're paying costs. All right, so they Cryptic Bounce this, and I'm in a situation here where I can cast Naus with my spirit guide and get blown out by force negation, or I can just let this happen and live in cowering fear of cards that they may or may not have. And again, like my thought process with this game was that they're on a mulligan to 5, so I want to press them, right? Like if they do force here, then now they only have 1 card in hand. That's not the worst. And they have to exile a blue card at that. So it's like I'm getting rid of 2 counter spells. So I think I was weighing the situation and I was like, I should just go for it here. If I don't go for it here, draw an extra card and they get to bounce this unlife and things go poorly. And they don't have the force. I do get to pick up my deck. I exile the guides and lightning storm kill them. Sick. Okay, let's go on to the next game. So I sided out 3 sleight of hand, 2 spoils, 1 oracle, and 1 unlife for 2 spell pierce, 2 pact of negation, 2 Thoughtseize, and 1 mystical dispute. Thoughts being that I need the Thoughtseize to handle the Teferi that they may or may not play, and then the counter spells obviously to force out my combo. Spoils gets worse in control matchups because my life total isn't pressured. Fast as Oracle, don't need 2 of those if I'm cutting out the spoils. Unlife because my life total isn't pressured. So let's take a look at this game. My keep is insane, right? I've got lots of card selection. I've got half the combo. I've got some fast mana, and I've got oodles of permission. So let's keep and see how this game goes. They keep a hand of 7 cards and go tapped. Let's take a turn here. Draw an unlife, which is fine, not ideal. I really wish this program would work. All right, main phase. What does this even do? All right, temple. I put that on the bottom for sure. Yeah. All right, and then pass turn. After suspending. Okay. I think they just play a land and. Oh no, they play Wrenn and 6. Okay, so they play Wrenn and 6. I learned throughout this event that this card is so important to the plan of this of our opponent's deck, and learning that helps me throughout the rest of this event. But basically, if your opponent resolves a Wrenn and 6 on turn 2, you're probably losing. So you should do whatever you can to make it so that doesn't happen. In hindsight, I thought to myself, maybe I should have played the Gemstone Mine and held up Spell Pierce. I think I would have won this game if I had done that, actually. Temple again. This lets me hold up the Spell Pierce. Serum, I believe I scry the Serum to the top. Yep. And then just pass. I want to counter a Teferi if I can, so that's why I have the Spell Pierce. Flooded Strand. Sack Flooded Strand. Get an eye. Taps 3. I remember thinking, what the heck is this? And I still don't even remember. Oh, Ashiok. I do decide to counter this. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have countered this. But things can just go so wrong if this gets to live on the battlefield. They can mill themselves to get Uro. They can mill me to mess up my scries. I actually spell pierced here, and I think I should have held the spell pierce. So that was another mistake that I made. Or not necessarily a mistake, but a choice that I made that I think could have been unoptimal. So I don't play the Unlife here, which is kind of weird champ. I guess my thought is that if I find the ad nauseum, then I can go, and I have a bloom coming off next turn, so I can go land uh, Grace Naus, and I want to develop out this prism to do something. I don't know. I don't know. I think I could have played the unlife here, and I would have been better off. It just force checks my opponent here. Maybe my thought process was I have two pact of negations, so I just need to find my ad nauseum. It doesn't really matter what they have because I'll be able to beat it with double pact. Yeah, that seems more accurate. Like, I just want to get my serum down, dig quickly, and find my Naus because I've just got oodles of. I keep saying that I've got a lot of permission in my hand, so I don't play the unlife here. I'm gonna play the prism. I just want to find my combo piece. I do see a Thoughtseize here, and I think I bottomed this because, like I said, I just want my Naus. I did. I put it on the bottom. All right. That's another interesting choice. I could have topped it. I guess my thought process was I need to race this Ren and 6. In 3 turns, I'm not going to be able to beat a Ren and 6 ultimate. So I need to find the ad nauseum as soon as possible. All right, bloom. Do I get the bloom? I'm pretty sure my opponent won't counter this bloom because I have a Pentad Prism in play already. Um, Countering this doesn't really do much. Yeah, they let it go, which I think is. All right, I don't draw Naus, but I draw Spell Pierce, which is good, right? Because I happen to have this extra mana now, so I'm like ready to go. Just give me the Naus, and I'm in. I'm in there. I pass to them. They end of turn cryptic me, and I do Spell Pierce. What happens? I play the Unlife. They command to counter draw, and I Spell Pierce to protect it. That's what happens. Which maybe I shouldn't have done because I don't really need this Unlife to win the game. So I think that was actually another mistake that I made. I shouldn't have countered the Cryptic command. I should have just let it resolve, and then I would have had 3 pieces of counter spells. I would have had 4 counter magic spells if I let the Ashiok resolve as well, right? So maybe 4 counter spells could have beaten this opponent. But let's see. I draw a Lotus Bloom and I suspend a Lotus Bloom for my turn 6. Or for my turn 5. They ult their Ren and 6 and pass. I draw a second Grace. They bounce my Unlife and draw, and I say fine. Still no Naus. Yep, they play another Ren and 6, and at this point the game's basically over. They can just pick up lands that they use to discard to play spells. And I decide to keep playing because I'm a little bit ahead on clock, and I just think that it might be a good exercise, right? Because I'm actually not too familiar with this matchup, so playing more of it is going to help me understand what I need to do to win this game 3. So they play Teferi Time Raveler. I Pact of Negation it, and they say fine. And then I grace this trigger, and I definitely don't draw ad nauseum here. Oh yeah, we have a huge fight here. They manage my bloom because they think they're gonna catch me with this pack trigger. So I pay the 3 because I'm like, cool, free mana leak out of their hand. They force the force because I'm like trying to bait out another force in their hand. And then they do something that really blows me away here. You can actually play for free from your graveyard with Retrace. So infinite free Force of Negations. Bruh moment. What the hell? This card needs to go. Okay, I'm just saying it. So that happens, and then I have to burn the Grace to not lose. But this was like a really big aha moment where I was like, holy crap, Ren and 6 Force Negation? That's kind of unbeatable. So I think I'm actually just going to go to the next game here. I actually changed my sideboard plan a little bit here. I take out a second Unlife, and I put back in one of the spoils. Because I just realized that Unlife is just so clunky in this matchup. And I never want to draw more than one. And it can be a liability if they bounce it and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to cut one of these and put in another spoils because I'd like to be able to spoils for like Pact of Negation and other things. So I make that change. All right, I do keep this hand. This hand is pretty solid. We've got permission, fast mana, half the combo, and lots of digging potential. So I like this hand a lot. I'm going to keep. They also begin with 7. Land, Serum, drawing me a land and a Grace and a Gemstone. I probably top the Gemstone just because I do not have a white land, right? Without a white land, this Unlife is going to be hard to deploy. So there's that. I might even top the Grace just because I'm so low on Unlife in this matchup at this point. So let's see what I do. Bottom. Interesting. So maybe I'm just assuming that I'm going to draw a white source at some point. I've got this Pentad Prism. Interesting. Bottoming the Gemstone Mine there. Maybe I wasn't thinking about the fact that I'm missing white. But I do want to, just so we can keep a record, this is a hand that could use a white source. One of the things I take away from this event is that the deck needs another white source. So they play land and pass. Draw another Prism. Okay, okay. So I think I play Murkwater Pathway. I'm not sure if I Prism here or Serum. I Serum. Interesting. So I draw spoils, and then I don't know how I scry because this client sucks. Scry 2 cards to the bottom. Okay. And then I play this on black. Makes sense. Yeah, I could really use a white source in this hand. I'm sure I'm like cringing at the fact that I don't have a white source because if I did, I could spoils for Grace, Pact counter something, and not being able to do that. I mean, doing that is a lot of resources, but it's probably worth it if they play Teferi. I guess because I'm on the play, it doesn't matter so much. But anyway, I pass here. They get on my end step. And let's see what they do. They play Ren and 6. So I'm like, oh god, here we go. Ooh, I draw another. Obviously a great draw. Pretty sure I deploy a Prism and hold up spoils here. Yep, there's the Prism. Which gets Force of Negation. And I'm like, thinking emoji. So my opponent deploying the Force tells me that they have a lot of forces in their hand. They pick up a land with Ren and 6 and in hindsight, maybe I should have played the Clearwater Pathway, not the Murkwater. Maybe my opponent countered the Prism because they knew I was stuck on colors. I don't know. I draw planes here, which is very good. I probably just planes and... Oh, I play a Prism again. Interesting. I wonder why I didn't Unlife. Maybe the answer is because, oh, I know why. Hold on, this is cool, so I want to pause. So the reason I play the prism here is because on the I want more mana. Um, Now that the prism is in play, I can go unlife and hold up my pacts. The reason why I couldn't do that before is because so the line is obviously get unlife in play, spoils for Naus, win. Playing the unlife next turn, I can hold up my Pact of Negations. Whereas if I played unlife last turn, I couldn't really pact to protect this unlife. But now that I have enough mana to add Naus in response to my pact triggers, I can play this unlife very confidently on my next turn. So that was my thought process on that. Like, it's better to play this unlife now, play the prism now, and have unlife next turn, and then I'll be able to protect it with double pact. So yeah, my opponent is getting a force of negation on the top of their library, which is important to know. Untap and draw. Okay, another land is cool. Do I play this one on blue? I probably play this one on blue, right? Like, who needs... I might play it on black, honestly. So one thing that I'm thinking about in this matchup is, like, they can Field of Ruin you, and that sucks. So I just want infinite black sources. Here we go. Going for it next turn. There's the Field of Ruin. All right. Upkeep, draw. All right, drawing the Lightning Storm makes me pretty happy because I can't exile it anymore. So I'm pretty... I take that as like a sign, like, this is gonna work, dude. Just trust. Hit play. I don't remember if I spoils... I think I go for everything on their upkeep. And that works really well for me. This is the longest match I have all day, so sorry about the lengthiness of these games. All right, so on their upkeep, I spoils. And doing this stuff on their upkeep is something that I used for my next matchup against this deck. It's very, very good to do things on their upkeep. Ren at 7, by the way, so I have to go this turn, basically. Their Force of Negations are now cancels, right? They cost 3 mana to cast. So with that in mind, and we know they have oh, no, they're drawing the Force. So they actually don't have the Force in hand. Wow, so this is pretty sweet. Our opponent needs to have 3 counter spells, but they only have mana to cast 2. So we're probably good here to go. And that's and that logic helps me out with the rest of my matches against rest of my games against this deck. I reveal 2 cards to ad nauseum, or to spoils, get the ad nauseum. Pretty happy to get a painless, and then I go for it here. And they pay costs. They force a negation, so maybe I would maybe they did draw the Force. Okay. So they just let it happen. And I'm like, what the hell? They don't have a 2 mana counterspell in their 6-card hand. Long story short, my opponent has 5 lands in hand. And they get really salty at me at the end of the game. Match 4, game 1 against 1-yo, 2-yo. And I actually played against this opponent in a prelim earlier, like a couple days ago. I went 3-1, and they were my last round opponent. If I beat them, I would have gotten 4-0. And I was like, ah. And then I paired against them again today, and I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And I was like, I'm going to beat him this time. And yeah, it was a really fun match. Anyway, so this hand is bonkers, right? I have so much card selection and I have the combo in fast mana, so there's no way you could put this back. Past me agrees. See how I scry. I might put that on the top. I put it on the bottom, probably because I want to find a white source, right? Excuse me. Okay. So they breeding pool, tapped and pass. All right, Seachrome, pretty happy about drawing that, but let's play the temple first. So normally you want to go sleight of hand first, then play your temples, then serum visions. But in this instance, I have a lot of time to set up, and I really am just looking for Pact of Negation. So when you're looking for a specific card, you and you're trying to set up, you can almost do it in reverse order. You can go serums, temples, sleight, just because you're just trying to set up your next draw. But we're still early in the game, so I want to make sure I don't draw any duds. So I do play the temple and the serum, which is like a very powerful sequence. Because you can see here, I'm not going to draw this lightning storm with my serum visions. It's like scry 1, draw 1, scry 2. It's pretty sweet. So we scry that to the bottom. Serum, find an unlife. Not happy about that. There's a pact though, solid. So I'm probably going top bottom. Yeah, one card on bottom, one card on top. Very happy to find that pact. Okay. Land and then unlifetime. And that snap resolves, which I'm very happy about. And the growth spiral. Okay. So if this bloom resolves, I'm feeling very good. If the bloom doesn't resolve, I'm feeling less good. So bloom, question mark, bloom hits. Champion. All right, let's see what happens next. I play the temple to scry. Thoughts being, I'm going to scry here, and then I'm going to sleight of hand. Because like I said before, when you're looking for a specific card, you want to play your temples first, and then your sleight of hand. But when you're just trying to set up, you want to go sleight of hand into temple. So I'm looking specifically for Pact of Negation or Spoils of the... No, just Pact of Negation here is what I need. So I'm going to temple to try and find a Pact of Negation. That's not Pact, so I'm going to bottom it. And now I sleight a hand here, looking for that Pact. I don't find it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I pass. And we'll see what happens here. On my end step, they do nothing. So on their upkeep, I decide to go for it here. And again, I really like this logic that I'm using. Like, I know my opponent's deck. It's like full of forces and cryptics and remands and stuff. And my thought process is the more mana they get, the worse this game is going to be for me. So let me just do this on their upkeep when their force negation is down and I know I have a pact. Like, I only have one pact left in my deck. The odds of me finding that are very low, and the game is going to get worse for me until I do. And it might be too late by the time I find that second pact. So I'm going to go for it here. All right, here's my Naus. What do you got? Three mana, 4 mana cryptic, counter bounce. All right, well, I win this game, right? Because it's their turn. Force negation doesn't work. I pack that cryptic and I Naus kill them. Solid. Here we are, match 4, game 2. Let's see how we sideboarded. So I sideboarded very similarly to how I sideboarded against the 4-color control deck. I take out the 3 sleight of hands and the 2 unlife Historically, I've never taken out 2 unlife. I usually only trim 1, but I don't know. I think cutting 2 is correct now. So I cut 2 unlife, 3 sleight of hand, 1 oracle for 2 packs, 2 spell pierce, 1 thought seize, and then 1 mystical dispute. And normally I don't like thought seize in the matchups where my opponent is not playing Teferi. But I decided to bring it in. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think Thoughtseize is better than all the other cards that I brought out, right? So I guess it's correct. Yeah, I'm fine having a Thoughtseize in the deck. All right, so this hand has the combo, and it has a pact, and it's got a ton of selections. So with all that in mind, I'm probably keeping. Kind of sad that I don't have any fast mana, but like combo plus pact is really hard to put back. Let's see if I keep. I do keep. All right. Land go. I drew a dispute. Pretty happy about that. Scribe. Pentad Prism at this point. Pact of Negation. I'm probably putting that on the top of my library. Like those cards are just so important. And like the fact that I have no fast mana means that this game is going to go past turn 4. Like I need to accept that I'm not winning on turn 4 in this game. So I'm probably topping that pact and knowing that when I go for it, I'm gonna resolve my combo. Let's see if I top. I do top. Pact is just bonkers. Okay, they get a Sultai land. They are Sultai Uro. And they play Breeding Pool 2, which is kind of interesting to me. They're like saying, hey, I don't have Growth Spiral. Kind of cool. Thanks for the info. Or any 2-mana counter magic for that, for as far as that's concerned. So I don't remember thinking that, but looking back, I'm thinking that now. Like, you're saying you don't have Remand? Kind of a weird champ. Let's Scry Serum. Again, very powerful sequencing here. Another Serum. I think I'm interested. I just want to hit my land drops and find a Prism if I can. And yeah, drawing perfects every turn is pretty sweet. So let's top that. Yep. All right, and now I Serum. Draw the good card. Double Bloomski. I remember thinking hard about this. I was like, I want to hit lands, but if I don't, I'm going to need this bloom, right? I might actually top one of these. I don't remember. It's very reasonable to bottom both. I do top a bloom. Okay, so I'm trying to win on turn 6. Okay. I remember thinking, geez, I'm kind of being weird here. I keep topping non-lands, and when all I really want to do is hit lands, so I'm like kind of questioning if I'm making the right choice when in doing that, but we'll see. So Serum. All right, draw an Oracle. Weird champ. Happy about that Seachrome. Top the Seachrome, bottom the guide is probably what I do. Cards on top. So I want the monkey? Maybe I top it just because it's a mana source, and all I really care about is the fact that it makes mana. You know what I mean? I could see that. So I suspend my bloom. Do I play Oracle? I doubt that I play Oracle here, right? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to play Oracle here because I scry 2 to the top, you know? So what's the point? I do remember feeling pretty good here. My hand is loaded. Tap 2, Growth Spiraling now. So the way my opponent is playing, they're like holding up this land. It kind of makes me, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. Your opponent is holding up this land for 2 turns in a row. What do you think that they're representing? Let me know in the comments. It's so fun to play these matches and know how they end, and then rewatching the video with all that knowledge and like seeing how your opponent played the game and it kind of tells you what their game plan is. Like I don't know. Kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Like at the time, I didn't know why. I don't know. I won't get too much into it. It's fun to make these videos. All right. Draw step, draw the land, play the land. Do I run out the unlife here though? I might hold the unlife just so I can protect it with Mystical Dispute. That seems like no. And I guess that's what I decide to do. Yep. I gotta be getting a little bit worried though. My opponent hasn't missed a land drop. Target player draws 2. Do I fire off this dispute here? I don't. Oof, bold of me. I guess I learned my lesson last time by, if you remember my match against 4-color, I spell pierced the Ashiok and like a couple other in the Cryptic Command, and I was like, that was bad. So I probably don't dispute there because of how that last match went. And I kind of agree with it. Yeah. Yeah, it's good not to dispute there. What are they going to do? Draw 2 lands? Oh, actually not. So I remember being very happy that they missed a land drop here. Scared because it means they have 7 spells in hand, but happy because they're not going to be able to play many of them with only 5 mana on the turn I just. So there's the monkey. And now I deploy my unlife. And that resolves. Very, very happy about that. Again, I have a bloom next turn. Playing unlife the turn before your bloom comes down is very good practice because you'll be able to nausea in response to your pact triggers if you have to pact. All right, on my end step, they growth spiral. Sure, bud. No land again. LFG. Paying more costs. Assassin's Trophy. We have a little banter here. Whoa, that's cool art. I know, right? Secret Lair is dope. So I don't pact this. I'm not quite sure why. I guess because I thought that, you know, this game is going to go long. I'm going to want the land. Just hold. Everything will be fine. So I get my planes and I pass. Definitely sad to see that unlife go, but I play very conservatively here. And I'm kind of impressed by that. I know that there are some days when I'm just like very impatient against these control decks. Being patient definitely has rewarded me here. So they say paying for costs. What is this? Remand. Ay. All right. I let that I guess the bloom is less important because I got the planes off the trophy. And that's my thinking there. Another land is great. So I suspend the bloom again, of course. And I run out Oracle here because I find my white card now, right? So let's try to find an Angel's Grace. There's the Angel's Grace, so I click that for sure. Put a card on top of their library. And yeah. Segoski. Uro. I'm pretty excited, right? Our opponent has just tapped half of their total mana to play an Uro. This is good for me Obviously, if I decide to go for it on my turn, again, they will have force up, but we'll talk more about it when the turn gets here. So they do find the land. Now they've got 7 mana, which is pretty big yikes, to be honest. Okay, go to me. Draw the Grace. Do I even get in for 1 here? I probably do. But maybe I don't, because I just know it's not going to matter with this Uro, gaining them 3 life. I do. Get in for the beats. Clock represented. All right, so here's where things... Okay, so end step. Pass priority. They fetch. Okay, so let's talk about this. They have 3 mana available and 6 cards in hand. I have 3 pieces of permission. They do not have cryptic mana available, so cryptic command will not work. I lose this stack war. No. So if I Naus Grace and they have 3 forces, oh yeah. Okay, sorry. If they have 3 forces of negations, I will lose because they'll be able to pay the 3 for Mystical Dispute. But that means they have to have 6 blue cards in hand, 3 of which are force of negation. So I'm not really worried about that. So if they don't have 3 forces and 3 other blue cards, then I'm good to go, right? Like if they have double force, basically if they have to spend any amount of mana on a counterspell, I can beat triple counterspell. So there actually isn't a situation where I lose this counter war in my mind. So I'm like, this is a good time to go. And if I wait for when the forces cost mana, they're gonna have 7 mana, right? Because this polluted delta is gonna get them a 7th land, which makes my Mystical Dispute really bad. So I decide to go for it here, even though force is active, because them having 7 mana really makes my Mystical Dispute bad. So I decide, let's go. Okay. My opponent lets the City of Brass trigger resolve. Then, Force of Negation, Uro. Okay. I will respond by playing Pact of Negation. Okay. My opponent plays Veil of Summer. If you remember this whole game, they've been holding up this Zagoth Triome. It was because of they had this Veil in their opening hand. I'm almost sure that's what they were doing now, rewatching the VOD. So now I'm thinking, oh shit, if they have force and a 2 mana counterspell, then I lose this game. That's bad. Well, let's pack the Veil because it's not a blue spell. And they have force, exiling Archmage's Charm. All right, well, this is the only time where Mystical Dispute was better than Spell Pierce this all day. But because this Mystical Dispute was not Spell Pierce, I was actually able to win this match here. Look at this beautiful stack. I just think that's so funny that because this says 3 instead of 2, I was able to win this match. So, solid. Watch this all resolve for a second. I think I say some nice things here. Or we have like some good banter. I kind of want to, it's not going to show, but basically I say like, this is revenge for beating me in that prelim. We have some good conversation. I like this guy. He's a nice guy. All right, that's it. So we won. We won again. We're 4-0. Poggers.